Right.
Right.
I think we're ready, boys. Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you? Merhaba Pendul.
You're fine, right? I think your phone is okay. Okay, so welcome to this new idea that us as SA Jewelry Week have decided to put on the table. We will be starting a new podcast series where we'll be discussing everything that is jewelry related, and just kind of topical events that we find interesting that regard jewelry,
And everything in our industry, basically. So
basically.
nothing is off the table.
Yes.
Like we discuss literally every
Everything.
single thing. Yeah.
And we are just doing this because we think there's a lot of information out there that people aren't aware of, that is related to what we do. And the platform, the SA Jewelry Week platform, for those of you that do not know, is we are an organization that aims at uplifting and showcasing the South African jewelry talent. And this podcast is just one of those ways of doing it. So, just to start off with, I think the most important thing that we can talk about right now is the event itself and what we are planning on doing, and also just kind of giving you a background of what we have done, who we are, how has the pandemic affected us in terms of our event last year, and how we're planning on moving forward 2021 and beyond. All right?
Yeah, so let's start with, the first year when we did our first event.
Yes.
That was
2019.
It was 2019.
2019.
Feels so long ago.
It was a long time ago.
So the concept was we invited all the postgraduate students from different institutions around the country to take part, and that was, our first exhibition. That was going to be our first exhibition, and the reason why we did that was because we wanted to have, almost like where the education of jewelry begins.
Because
Yeah.
we also study jewelry design, and it also a nice ease of access into what the event can be about. So we had 5 institutions that have jewelry design as a course. We invited them, more specifically the postgraduate students, to showcase their work at the event. And that event took place at Art House,
which is a fabulous gallery.
It's
by
an
the
amazing
way.
gallery.
You guys should check it out.
So we ran the event. The event itself, the main event, happened on the evening. I can't remember what the date was. When I do remember, I'll put it down on the video here. And what led up to the event is we had panel discussions. We had gallery tours where we invited people, the public, to come and join us while we go around to the different galleries and jewelry showcase spaces in Johannesburg, showing them what people are actually doing in the country. And then the panel discussions were around, again, topical information that is jewelry related. And we had experts that came through, and then we kind of just spoke about what we were doing.
But remember, we weren't around during the panel discussions. But it was part of the.
It was part of the event.
Part of the event. We were in Namibia.
Yeah.
With our students from the university.
From the University of Johannesburg.
Which was quite fun.
Yeah.
But we did open the event, and we were part of it, and then obviously had to leave before
the actual
panel
started. Panel discussion started.
Panel discussion started.
Yeah.
But what was your experience, Sado?
I think
from setting up.
So it was a lot of work, especially there was a point where we had to fly to Cape Town,
Stellenbosch.
To Stellenbosch specifically, because the institution, they had an event that was specific to SA Jewelry Week, where the postgrad students that I spoke about set up in their gallery, and we had a chance to basically have a look at the work that they were doing. We took photographs, and that work was at such a high level that we were so excited when they brought the stuff over to Johannesburg for the
For
actual
us to
final
now set up.
event. Yeah, so my experience of it was a stressful time, a very,
Very stressful time.
but it was fun at the
Very
same time,
stressful
especially
time.
because, we are full-time lecturers at the same time. So balancing the work that you do along
And
with
trying to set up, an
an
event,
exhibition.
a first time event. I think for me it was, having to experience wearing all of these different hats.
Yeah.
We went from conceptualizing what everything is going to look like, what we want the space like in the gallery to look like, to actually now curating where who's each designer's piece is going to be.
Yeah.
So it was quite.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, and also we had to do this while we're doing our 8 to 4 job. So we would come in the morning, and then we would have
Tend to the students.
tend to the students,
See if
and
they're
then off. During lunch, we are running
Doing other
off to
things.
Art House trying to set up pieces and. Yeah, it was quite
fun.
It was quite hectic. I think like the reason why I want to talk about the experience is because everybody, usually you see the end product, and sometimes the end product looks like, oh no, it probably you had a whole bunch of people like assisting, and
You had a budget.
you had a budget,
had
and
no budget.
we had no budget, like zero.
But we made it work.
But we made it work. And I think just to, if anyone is also like interested, because as designers, people do want to do things like exhibitions, and you'll find that maybe like the young designers, our students, might want to host something that is similar. And it kind of, I think, talking about the behind the scenes helps.
Yeah, it does help.
Yeah,
It does
so
help.
that people know, what goes on behind the scenes and how to get things together. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's basically kind of, that was 2019. That's basically what happened. We were focusing on higher education institutions. And then 2020 came around. Whew. That was
Pandemic.
I don't have to
Pandemic.
explain what happened in 2020. We all know what happened there. When the pandemic obviously struck, we sat down as a team, and we kind of had to make some really tough decisions of how are we going to move forward for this year. Are we even going to have an event? And if we do, how are we going to, showcase? How's the platform going to happen this year? Because we weren't allowed to have mass gatherings, and with the lockdown regulations, even if we had gatherings, we had to obviously stick to the regulations where social distancing and sanitizing and all those kinds of things. And we decided to postpone the 2020 event, to 2021. But with that being the case, we were actually very fortunate enough to link up with the people from New York City Jewellery Week, and we then decided, okay, let's make the 2020 event
Yes.
in collaboration with the New York City Jewellery Week guys.
Yeah.
And so that was our iteration of the 2020 event, even though it wasn't specifically to South Africa.
Yeah, and I think what we loved about it was that it was virtual. It was going to be virtual.
A virtual exhibition.
And initially, we thought, it's just, we'll probably just like get a few things together.
Yes.
And it should be, really easy. We'll, have pieces from the designers, and it should be okay. It's
should
just
be
a
okay.
virtual show.
But still, there's a lot of work that goes into that. So the way we planned this is the people that had entered for 2020, we took those people specifically, and we automatically entered them into the professionals. We automatically entered them into the New York City Jewelry Week collaboration.
Yeah, and the reason for that was also because a lot of the institutions couldn't obviously function. So students wouldn't be able to make stuff, and they don't have anything that is ready. So the call to make it just the professionals was because professionals do have old pieces, either old collections, all new staff as well. So
Yeah.
that's why we decided to focus on the
Yeah.
professionals
And their own spaces where
yeah,
they could
so
make.
they could
The
actually
students
just make,
don't
and
have that.
even then, not everybody could partake. It was like just those who actually had access to a workshop space or who had collections ready.
Yeah.
So that's how we did the selection for 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Again, with that, the event was a great success. What we did is we put together the professionals' images and their work, and we basically put it in such a way that it was as Kanya said, it's a virtual exhibition. So we showed all the work. We had it in a nice garden setting, and we basically made sure that we highlighted what each of the professionals were doing within this garden setting. That way, it gives you a nice pop of color, and it showcases how beautiful the African continent is. So that was a very great experience.
Yeah, so
for me.
conceptually, it was the whole idea was to, have that African aesthetic without being too, not the animals, not the not the Kruger National Park vibe, but basically just celebrating our, what South Africa is about. So with the garden, in Johannesburg, for example, it was more representative of Johannesburg, how you always see like a whole lot of trees, gardens. They're very like they play like
a beautiful setting.
Beautiful setting, yeah. That's what you'll find in most of like the areas around Joburg. And then with the beginning of
the video
there's like Snotando dancing, and he's wearing like a bucket hat, which
and we've got jewelry that is hanging
and we had jewelry that is hanging off of there, so that takes you to more of the Gussie vibe, the township, because also again we do have jewelers who are from the township, and so it's basically we're just trying to get that feel. And then we had the runway, which is also now just showing that for instance in Joburg, like people like dressing up and looking all stylish and whatnot. So again, there was that trying to reel that in, that element of South Africa has people who are into like fashion, and we also love our dance and our music, and also like our space is very
colorful and
beautiful,
along with the people. So I think even the music that you'll see that we selected to play with the video is quite a nice one. Okay, so that was 2019 and that was 2020.
That was 2020,
right? Let's get into 2021. We are still in a panoramic. Panoramic is what they call it. Apparently.
Is it? I didn't know. Who calls it a panoramic?
Everyone calls it.
Why?
I don't know. It's not a pandemic.
It's not a pandemic. I think it's because people are tired of this pandemic. Now it's just turned into a panoramic. All right, cool, got it.
So in this year, we are status quo stays the same. We are, as we said, the event that was supposed to happen, the SA Jewelry Week event that was supposed to happen in 2020, has now been moved to 2021. So the idea that we were gonna move forward with will now be happening this year. So for this year, what we have decided to do is the categories, which are new talent, which is students, whether you are undergrad or postgrad, along with the professional category, and obviously those are people that have now started working and they have their own workshops and businesses and so on. They will get a chance to submit any of their designs and entries by the 1st of April. That's our deadline.
That's our new deadline.
That's our new deadline to submit your entries.
Yeah.
So by submitting entries, what we mean is basically it's your drawing portfolio or a CAD portfolio.
Yeah.
It's a digital entry. So basically anything that you're trying to make, you haven't made it yet, we understand that. We just want to see what your ideas are, whether it's CAD or hand drawn.
Or hand drawn.
Yeah, the deadline for that will be the 1st of April 2021.
Yeah.
That's in a couple of weeks. Okay.
And also you will find the entry form on on our website. It should be on our
It
website.
should be on our website.
But we'd like to also like encourage a lot of people to enter. Just so while we're talking about, before we get into the details of this year's event, I think it's good if we touch on the importance of having a lot of jewelers, partake in such events, because I mean, we are trying to change the narrative of what our industry is like, well, especially for the contemporary designer, because we need our consumers to understand what we do, so that people who are graduating have clients to sell their stuff to. And I think it's important that we all take part in it, and it's not even about, oh no, I don't want to do it because maybe it's not something I'm taking seriously or whatever, but it's really just we started this because we really want to change what's happening in our industry. For us, it's for us. It's for us as designers. So please
Enter, please.
Do enter. And have fun with it. I mean, our brief is very it's not, we don't have a specific theme for people, because again, you are a designer, you have your own brand. Some people have their own brand identity, and that's what we want people to see come through, and that's what we want to pitch to the public, that this is this specific designer and this is what they're about and this is what they do. So it was important for us not to have a theme, because at the end of the day, we are showcasing individuals,
your talent.
Yes, your talent as an individual, and we don't want to box you. So
I don't think we are ever gonna have a theme.
Because
we're trying to showcase what you are doing as a designer, and you as the public. If you're watching this and you're not a jewelry designer, you then get to see what the South African jeweler is able to produce, and then you'll definitely have more options in terms of if you want to get somebody a gift, or if you're getting married, that's the most popular one. Then you've got all these different options that you can look into for your jewelry that you want to use.
Yeah, but I think it's also important for people to realize that, especially in a South African context, that with contemporary jewelry, it's jewelry that is very it's very custom made. When you look at the different designer and what they do. So if you like looking different, standing out in the crowd, contemporary designers are usually what you would then look for. So it's not just about jewelers just only making engagement rings. It's also just about jewelry that's very expressive, so you can rock it with literally anything, and that's the culture that we're going for. A trend, for people to buy into it, and as a consumer, for you to understand that it goes from from any materials. People use all sorts of materials to make the type of jewelry that we are advocating for. It's not just your gold, it's not just your silver, it's all sorts of materials that the designers choose to use. So that's kind of the scope of what you can look forward to from the designers that are coming in. Okay, and then after we have obviously closed our deadline, which is the 1st of April, we will then get to sit down with our judges. Who are our judges?
Who are our judges? It's a very good question. Thank you so much. We've got 4 highly talented, amazing judges who have thankfully been riding with us even through the whole pandemic last year, and we're very thankful to have these 4 judges still continuing with us. Number 1, we've got Mr. Lincoln Mukwena. He is a trainer and basically a goldsmith who works at Ekurhuleni Jewellery Project. He's an educator, and this guy has many years of experience making jewelry in general, and teaching the people under him how to become goldsmith like he is. So we're very happy to have him. We've got Ms. Joni Groenewald. She is a lecturer at the University of Stellenbosch in the jewelry design department. She's also got many years experience as a lecturer, and of course she's a qualified jewelry designer as well. She's done a lot of exhibitions,
and still doing
exhibitions. And she's also, you know, vastly experienced when it comes to jewelry. So we are very happy to have her as part of our judging panel as well. Number 3, we've got Mrs. Geraldine Fenn. If you are a contemporary jeweler in South Africa, you'll know who this lady is. You know, she's also been doing, she's been a professional jeweler for I think it's over 20 years. It could be a little bit more than that, but she's also vastly experienced. She has her own gallery in Johannesburg, called Tinsel Gallery.
Tinsel, yeah.
It's the one-stop shop in Johannesburg if you're looking for contemporary jewelry, specifically contemporary jewelry, and she's a contemporary jeweler herself,
along with her husband.
With her husband, Eric Lobsher. So yeah, she's also very, very talented, and happy to have her on. And then last but definitely not least, we've got Mrs. Standiwe Khoroge. For those of you that don't know who that is, I don't know where you've been. She's a famous, talented, amazing actress from South Africa.
A lot of people will remember her from Generations.
Yes.
She played
Zinzi and
Zolega, which were twins.
Yeah. And she's also on a few shows that are currently airing right now. I also know that she's a theater actor as well. So she isn't a jewelry designer, but she does have an interest and an eye for jewelry in general, especially because whenever if you do follow her, you'll see that she really does take an interest in the jewelry that she wears. And you know, when she first discovered us as SA Jewelry Week, we saw her following the page, and then she'd always be liking and asking questions,
tagging her,
and you're always tagging her as well, and
all the time,
especially because we saw the interest that she had with regards to jewelry in general. So we know that she's got an eye for design, so we asked her to be part of the judging panel. And she was very happy to do that. So yeah, so those are our 4 very amazing, talented judges. So very happy to have them on, helping us judge.
Yeah, so we are not part of the judging.
No.
We are just, doing the admin of accepting applications.
Yes.
And that's what we do. But the judges then handle the rest, and they are the deciding voice.
So the judging will happen from the 7th of April until the 30th of April 2021. So we're giving our judges almost a month to basically select the work that they want or that they feel is fitting. And then we will announce who the finalists are and the participants on the 3rd of May 2021. And if you're selected as a finalist, then you are given the go-ahead to start manufacturing the jewelry that you've been selected to make, right? And you'll be given from the 3rd of May, once the announcement is made, until the 18th of August. Between the 16th and 18th of August, where those 2 dates, we will be doing our quality check and our vetting. So those 3-4 months, you'll be left alone to make the jewelry.
Yeah, and the reason why we're doing a quality check and vetting a day is because obviously it looks great on paper, it looks great on CAD, but we also want it to look great
in real life,
because we are inviting the public to view this. We are looking, to have a whole lot of sponsors and people involved, and buyers, inviting buyers to come in and see what our designers are doing. So we cannot invite people to come and see products that are not obviously quality checked and well made and wearable and whatnot. So that also speaks to the design, as if you're entering, please make sure that obviously your designs will be wearable, bold, big. You can go crazy with your idea.
And of course, well made.
Yes,
very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah. And then after that, once everything has been approved, then you can continue and make the changes that were suggested to you by the judges, up until we have our dress rehearsal, which will happen on the 11th of October 2021. That'll happen until the 18th of October 2021. During that time, as you know, the name says, we are now going to imagine ourselves in the event, and how is the event going to be structured, which designer is going first, how is the lineup going to look like, the runway, all of those things, how does the work fit on the models. That will all happen during that dress rehearsal stage, and we're giving ourselves a week just to make sure that everything happens exactly the way that we'd like it to happen on the event. And then after that, we are then ready to get into the event, and the event opens on the 25th of October, and it will run until the 29th of October. The 29th of October specifically is our gala event, and that's where our winners will be announced.
Yes.
And do you want to tell them about our prizes and what the winners...
Before we
get there. Okay, let's not get there.
I'm always the the party pooper. Before we get to the prizes,
yes. I'm so excited
also
for prizes.
there's also us inviting, anyone who's interested in holding any sort of workshops. If you are keen on sharing something that you are doing as a jeweler and you'd like to be part of the program, please do let us know, because we do want you to engage the public. So we don't want it to just be your normal, just an exhibition where people just walk in and out and that's it. We really want it to be informative, and so that means that if you have something that you would like to share with the public, where you want to get the public involved, and maybe you want it could be virtual, we can help you set it up as in to be a virtual thing that we then share during that time period, then do let us know, because we'd really love to have things like that. And we will have panel discussions, but obviously you need to contribute as well. If you feel like you have something to contribute and you really 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 want to contribute, we are open. Just let us know as soon as possible. Cool. Now for the fun stuff, the prizes. So for the new talent category, you are winning 5,000 rands. You're winning 5,000 rands.
Yes. And for the professional, because you're a professional and you've done a lot of work, and the new talent will also become professionals one day. We think you can get double what the young ones are getting. So the winner of the professional category will win themselves
10 grand. 10,000 rand. That's a lot of money during a pandemic, eh?
Yeah, man, listen, I could use 10,000 rands right now.
Even 5,000, I could use.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's basically what we will be giving to the rightful winners and the deserving contestants.
Yeah.
And we're very excited for this, and we hope that the pandemic does, give us a bit of a break so that we can have an amazing event full of people, and let it be a great one.
Let it be a fabulous one. So if you have any questions, or you guys can also send us suggestions of what you would like for us to discuss in our podcast sessions, because we want to do this often. And once again, everything we're doing it just to raise awareness of who we are, within South African context, and also as jewelers. So, and I think that if our fashion industry can be at a level that it currently is, I think we also can get there as jewelers, because fashion and jewelry,
they go hand in hand.
Same WhatsApp group. They go together. So
if there's anything you want to comment, or if there's anything you want to suggest, our comment section is below. Just leave us a comment, and we'll definitely get back to you with regards to that.
Also, I do think that if you feel like you would also want to come join us in one of our podcasts, and it's still new. We're open to new ideas. I think you're welcome to let us know. Send us.
You can come through, man.
And come through, and we can have a nice discussion. So the aim is not to be too uptight when we're doing this. We hope we weren't uptight today. But we just want to have fun talking about what we love, talking about how everything is happening in the world of jewelry.
I'm happy.
I'm
I
happy
think we
too.
can let's make this into a thing. Hopefully it'll become a thing. And yeah, let us know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We had a good time.
Yeah, had a good
We
time.
will do this again very, very soon.
I must say we could, next
get
time
some water,
let's have
man.
some water, Hey, next thing we're busy talking to you guys and you're just like the whole time. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, Tato Hadebe here.
Kanyam Teto here.
We will see you soon. Peace.